All righty. Going to go ahead and get started. I'll let people in as they show up if needed. I don't know if we did one of these last month, but we try and do them monthly. These are just kind of our like support webinars. We'll usually go over if there's any new features to let you guys know about, if there's any changes happening, if we have kind of specific dealer requests, things we want to go over, if anything comes from the RSMs, etc. So try and do these monthly. Sometimes they get a little more spaced out, but yeah, I'm Melissa. I'm part of the dealer support staff. So I'm just going to kind of dive in and talk about what we're going to be talking about today. About a month ago, we updated all of the equipment special pages on our dealer sites. Everyone should see those in effect by this point. We'll go over kind of what those look like, how to add dealer specials, how they're mingled in with the Kubota specials. We'll just look at that together. Next thing, we're going to go over announcement carousels and button banners. These aren't new features, but they're things we always like to kind of drop a line about every once in a while because they're used a lot and appreciated. So we'll just kind of go over how to add those. We're going to dive into just backend edit resources for you guys. I usually always do a final slide about that stuff, but we'll actually kind of go in and look at it together. We're going to go over some social features, and then we'll do just a little Q&A at the end if anyone has anything that they're curious about. We recently announced that we're going to be moving all of our sites over to a new platform. If you guys haven't heard or saw that announcement, I'll leave a little bit of space at the end where we can go ahead and talk about that stuff if we want to. All right. So first thing, kind of want to go over equipment specials. This is always just a hot topic for dealers, for RSMs, just stuff we want to kind of always be letting you guys know about if we make changes or just how to utilize the specials. We released a new widget recently. There's kind of a little screen grab there. We'll look at it in detail. But it's a new widget that has some nice like search functionality that's incorporated into it, and it mingles both dealer-specific specials and Kubota specials kind of all in one place. And we'll just go over what that looks like. Let's see, I'll go ahead and pull it up on our demo site. So this is kind of what it's going to look like. So it's this whole widget here at the top. We'll have you can search for keywords, you can search via categories for whatever is integrated into it. And you'll see kind of these first few specials. These are actually dealer entered specials. They'll always populate at the top, which is kind of preferred. You want like things that are specific to your dealership to populate first. But then if you kind of keep scrolling down, think about right here is where all of the KUSA specials will be synced over. Those will come through automatically, and they are specific to your division and district, so they will vary depending on where you're at. But those will be populated in here, kind of mingled in with your dealer specials. All of them will have a detail page that has a little bit more contact information and any more description information, and that all varies depending on your specials. On the back end of things, adding specials is going to be the same as it's always been, but if you haven't done that ever or in a while, I'll just kind of go over what that looks like. Back-end access, if you don't have it, always reach out to support. We can very happily set you up with a training and a login. But as before, under content, you scroll down to the dealer specials section, and then you'll just click the big green button to create a new special. I'm going to pull up one I made just a little bit earlier this morning just to kind of show you it all filled out. First things first, you want to select where that page will live, since this is, or sorry, where the special will live. Since we made updates to the equipment specials page, it only affects that specials page. So you just want to make sure that you select equipment, can give it a title and a tagline. You can add a description. This kind of works as like a normal content block. You can have additional formatting options if I don't know if I cut out there for a second. It just said
You went on mute for a second.
my mic turned off. Okay. I don't think you missed too much, hopefully. Okay. Add in all of the disclaimer and description information. And then down here, it seems a really small thing to do, but it is like the most important thing. Always make sure this check box is checked. If it's not, the widget that's on the equipment specials page like won't know to find it. We're basically just giving it the go ahead to be sourced and be pulled into our specials widgets. So if you're noticing like, why didn't my special populate on the equipment specials page? Go back into the back end, make sure this is checked, and it should populate the way you want it to. Throw in an image. You can pull anything from already existing libraries or directly from your computer. And whenever you're happy, you can either directly click the publish button. There'll be one at the top as well as the bottom, and that'll automatically get it on the site. Another publishing function is like a publish on and unpublished date. This is utilized, I would say, when people have like a special they only want to run for a week or a month, and they don't want to like think about publishing it. You can just set those dates while you're creating the special, and it'll unpublish whenever you tell it to. So that'll just be under more actions, and then this top one here. And then you can select a start date and an end date, and then it'll automatically come off your site when you choose to. These specials usually cache pretty automatically to the front end of the site. So I think like the one that I just created, give it a second to load. Let's see, this one right here. So this is the one that we were just kind of looking at. So there'll be a little bit, the tagline will populate on this page. And then when you click into it, this one looks a little unlike it should. There should be a form right here. It might just be the settings on the demo site, but it'll have the image up top, description information will be on the left side, and then in this gray box will be a form, like a contact form for the dealer. I should have checked that before I presented it, but that's how those specials will look. Any questions about the new equipment specials page? We implemented it across all dealers. We have had a few dealers reach out and say, I don't like that. And that's fine. We can set you up with however you want your specials to display. But we just kind of try to make it streamlined across the board. And these specials also display on your homepage already. There's like a slider that everyone has. So if there's something you don't like, just reach out to us and we can talk about getting it set up the way you'd like. Next thing, announcement banners and button banners. Another thing that pretty much every dealer has on their homepage right now is these announcement banners. It's just kind of an easy way to grab attention to a topic you're trying to cover, or an event you're trying to host, or a piece of equipment you're trying to feature. You can kind of use it in a lot of different ways. You can link either internal or external pages on it, which is pretty cool. Also, like the specials, you can set expiration dates, so announcements can come and go depending on the time of year or days you want them to be displayed. And then button bars are just an additional widget that you can place anywhere on a site. It doesn't have to be necessarily the homepage, but it's just a way to add additional call to action buttons. So these are nice. I could think of a million reasons why to use them. Just kind of allows people to have access to different parts of your sites without having to scroll and navigate through a bunch of drop downs and so on and so forth. So there's images here, but we'll kind of look into it together. Tim, I see that you had a question. What's up? Tim, I think you're muted. I don't know if you're trying to ask a question.
Now can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You said back up there on the button bars, you said it can be placed anywhere on the site. Only place I've been able to put that is on the main page. So if you have like subdivisions to a page, you can't put that on each page. I have not found a better way to do it.
So you can't, yeah, I guess you can't put it on detail pages because those are templated. So like if you have like your equipment page and you click into like the view details, or if you have like a special and you click into the like details of the special, you can't place it on those types of pages because those are like integrated into the widget, but you can put them on like all other pages. So wherever you can access, here, let me see if I can actually demonstrate a little bit more.
No, I understand what you're saying. I just, when you
Yeah.
said that, wait, I tried to do that the other day and I couldn't do it, but it was on a breakdown page is where I was trying to do it.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I overspoke a little bit. Yeah, you can't put it on detail pages, but like anything that's listed underneath like these pages here, you can put it there.
Okay, that's
yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, no worries. But I'll kind of just demonstrate where it lives. So under pages, like we'll click into the home page, for example, here. Give that a second. Okay, so you'll see like this dealer, it already has the widget placed on the home page. If it's not placed there already, it'll live under Kubota Custom. And it's just this right here. It's titled Dealer Announcement Carousel, actually, not Announcement Banner. And then you just can drag and drop it anywhere on the page. If it's blank like this, it means it once upon a time had a special and it's since expired. The widget will continue to live on the page, but it just won't display anything. I'll just click into this one since it's already on there. As you can see, it looks like there was an announcement and it expired at the end of last year, so that's why it's not populating. But you can add a title, an additional like announcement text, start and end dates. You have the option of linking it to a page. It can be either an external URL or a page already created on the site. And then you have some like settings for all slides, so you can speed things up or have them slow down if you have like multiple slides. And then you could set up like a background color, font color, shadow box. You can kind of mess around with either just finding the color this way, or if you know color hexes, you can input them that way. We do have the option of having an image banner. The only thing about that is if you have multiple slides, they all have to be images. You can't have like one slide be a text banner and one be an image banner. So it's kind of like a commitment if you're having multiple slides. But if you're just having a single announcement banner, you can come down here and change it to an image banner. And it'll give you a lot of the same information. So you can still do an announcement title, expiration dates, link it to things, but then you can kind of mess around with the height of the banner and like the tint of the banner as well. The tint comes into play because if you have no tint and you have font, it can be kind of hard to read the font and or see the image, and vice versa. So you can add a little bit of tint to the image so you can read the text. So that's also an option if you want image instead of text. And then the button banner, I think there's already one placed here. Let's see where it's at. So button banner, if there's not one already placed, that widget is going to live under Dealer Custom. So find that one. There it is. And then it's this button banner here. Click into that. As it states here, you have to have a minimum of 2 buttons, and you have a maximum of 8. So anywhere within that range, you can work with. You can see here, there's 4 buttons selected. The text where it links to, both internal or external, and then you can mess around with the coloring. So there'll be a background color, a text color, and then a hovering background and text. There's ones that are already kind of selected, but if you want to do a custom, you can go ahead and it gives you the same functionality of like entering in a color hex. And so, for example, this one has, like the hover and the base are different, and we have all these different colors that they've chosen. So you can kind of make it really specific to your dealership, which is kind of cool. Do you have any questions?
I do have a quick question in regards to some of this theming and the buttons.
Yeah, what's up?
This is Jay, by the way.
Hey.
When you migrate over to Thrive, will these remain the same? The options?
Like the widget options?
Right, and the workflow to set them up. Or will there be new workflows?
Oh, it's going to be, I mean, it's a completely new platform. So the workflow is going to be different.
Okay.
Yeah, change is a little hard. I think it's easier to use, but that's just because I've become a little familiar with it at this point. When the time comes that we move dealers over, and that'll be happening kind of in waves, we are going to offer like a pretty expansive like training period and support period where we'll help you guys with stuff, and we'll like lean into training a little bit more. We're going to have like a help center just like we have with the current platform. So there'll be some widgets that don't transfer over completely, but there'll be either new things in their place or things that are similar. But yeah, the workflow is gonna change a bit.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. And I know we have some dealers that are like super involved with making back-end edits. And so we'll try and be a little more supportive with the people who have a lot of hands-on. And then there's other people who are pretty hands-off. And if they just want to learn now, like we'll dive into it. But if not, like there's a lot of stuff that we'll just be updating for a lot of dealers. And with that, with the Sitefinity side of that, I always kind of bring this up at the end of calls, but never really dive into it. Just the resources that we have for y'all. Our Zendesk Help Center, which this is current for Sitefinity, but we're also starting to work on some like Thrive documentation as well. But this is just a resource for all of our dealers to learn how to make back-end edits. So you can kind of just search for whatever, like edit a page, add a special. Basically, we just have a ton of articles. Some of them include video walkthroughs. Some of them are just like screen grab instructions, but there's just a lot of resources here. These links are also like included in our email signatures. So if you ever like reach out to us, there's usually like a little hyperlink so you can kind of dive into these instructions a little bit more if you're trying to learn how to make back-end edits. So I just always like to draw attention to this. Other things, we have like one-on-one calls that you can sign up with a member of support on. They're triggered for an hour. I think you can also do like half-hour ones if it's just like a quick little discussion, but you can usually set them up a day in advance. If you need to do like a day of thing, just drop us a line directly to our support email, but you should be able to sit down, do a screen share with a member of our support team and go over either just basic trainings if someone's new to the platform or the dealership, or if you just have a quick question and it's just easier to talk to someone. I prefer that usually over like a long email thread. So I know I'm not alone in that, but just like to draw attention to those calls. And then this is just our help email. So this goes directly to our help desk. We are a pretty small staff, but we're mighty. We do a lot and we're always here. So if you guys have questions, like never hesitate to reach out to us. One last little thing, we're kind of offering do you want to be featured on our social media kind of going on right now. So it's a free of charge thing, but if any dealers are just kind of wanting a little bit of free marketing, feel free to reach out to us, and our social team will do a little feature for you on our social media account. It can be anything. If you're trying to just get a little bit of promotion about your dealership or an event you guys are trying to promote or something, we'd just love to be supportive to you guys and put an extra little marketing snippet out there in the world. So again, reach out to our Kubota Help email, and we'd be happy to set something up for you guys and do a feature on our social accounts. And yeah, that wraps up this one. But if anyone has questions, whether it be on this platform, something we didn't talk about today, any questions about the new platform, hang out for a minute or two.
I do a lot of contract work with Wowco over in Baytown, Texas.
Yeah.
And you and I had a nice conversation about a month and a half ago, and you were awesome. And their website is humming along well. We're doing a lot of SEO stuff to it. And I'm getting ready to create a page for them where we're going to be integrating a lot of videos, especially geared towards the service customers. And their concern was just with the new Thrive platform coming, that when you guys do any type of integration or when you move it over, is it going to erase what we've done? And I told them, listen, the SEO side of it, yeah, we'll probably have to redo some of it, but that's on my end, and that's not as hard to redo once we get it going. Mm-hmm. But the biggest thing is with the integration, I know in the email it said that they'll be rolling out incrementally, just like you said there. But when it is getting ready to be rolled out, obviously we can have some input on that as far as, do we want exact wording copied over? Do we want exact page? They call it the top, the slugs, the URL slug. Do we want the exact same thing? So that's something that we're going to have some say in as well.
Yeah, most definitely. I think right now, we are going to be moving dealers over in waves, and those waves just depend on what your contract is set up with Sitefinity. So if contract is coming to an end, we're moving you over in this wave, or if your contract isn't coming over for 6 months, then you're going to be on a later wave. But we are trying to move first thing for us is move everything over as closely as possible, and then there'll be a review period. So then we'll bring in the dealer and be like, hey, this is what it's going to look like. Do you want more? Do you want less? And then there's going to be a chunk of time where revisions and communication with the dealer does happen. But initially we're going to move over as much as possible. I haven't talked with our digital marketing team quite yet about what the SEO stuff is like. I know the really basic top page stuff, but details about that there'll be a future conversation, and I'll drop them a line and kind of see what that process is going to look like.
And the URL slugs, as long as they stay the same, that's actually good when you refresh content, because Google looks at it as new content and it'll recrawl the page. So it actually will be a blessing in disguise. Their biggest thing, and my biggest thing, is we don't want to do all the work twice, and of course I don't want to charge them twice. They're personal friends as well, so I don't want to charge them any more than we have to charge them. Yeah. So the time frame of moving them over has a lot to do with the contract. So when I see them in the next couple of days and I check their contract, I've got your email saved, so can I reach out to you directly to get a rougher idea of when they're going to do it?
Yeah,
if I can get eyeballs on their contract.
Yeah, and I think that's probably something. I think we have it all staged out. I can maybe I'll check. Just reach out to me and we can talk a little bit more about it for sure.
Yeah, I know the Thrive platform is definitely going to be better than this platform that you guys have. It works, but it's like 20 years ago when we used to write websites on Microsoft Page. So
yeah, we're stepping up. We're psyched about it.
Yeah, there's going to be some specific things in regards to SEO that's built in as well. So if you're familiar with Yoast SEO, that's going to be built into the site. And so in terms of user experience and showing you what needs to change on the pages or whatever to get better results for search engines, there's going to be a lot more. It's going to be a lot more intuitive than what it is today. So that's the goal, is to give you guys a much better experience at the end of the day.
Yeah, it'll make it a lot easier. I know I write everything in Elementor on 99% of them are WordPress pages, so I know
Yep.
it's going to be very similar.
Yes, yeah. So you'll be very familiar with the back end.
Wonderful. That's good to hear. I made them. They were worried at first, and I go, listen, this is a positive thing that they're changing. It's going to make your life easier and my life easier. So
100%. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's always that like transition is hard for everyone. You're like, this is a positive thing. We're going in the right direction for sure. And let me just check the chat, make sure there's nothing that fell in there. I'm going to just add a quick couple notes to the chat. This is just like our resources links, and then where to find those couple of widgets that we talked about, the button banner and the announcement carousel. So if anyone wants to save that information, but if there's no more questions, we can call it a little early. I feel like the between a half hour and hour is about the attention span that most people have. So
perfect.
and then yeah, you guys know how to reach us if anything pops up. And yeah, Chris, I'll keep an eye out for your email. We can talk more about Wowco stuff.
Awesome. We'll touch base next week.
Okay, sounds good, y'all.
Appreciate you.
Have
Thank
a good
you.
one. Yeah, bye.